Hello, morning. How you all? Everybody well, I hope. We're coming out of the Hollywood Bets Durbanville meet into Hollywood Bets Wednesday afternoon. We're racing out at Scottsville. There are only 7 races today, so we're doing this a little bit later, about 10:10, so we get latest action for you, for those that are watching on Wednesday. There's our Twitter and our WhatsApp. We noticed yesterday an influx of additional users or participants. We appreciate it. Welcome. It's good to have you. Now, all of the talk in the first race is for TD Prinsloo's horse here. First time at Darren Burrows, called Bomber Girl, who second choice at 28-10. Obviously got Robbie Hill's horse to beat. But my phone rang this morning very unusually at 4:45 in the morning to tell me about this horse.
Yes, Clyde, I've heard a lot of talk for Bomber Girl. They say it's just as good as the one that won on debut, I think, a week or two ago. I'm still leaning towards Sign of Fate. She's had the experience of the one run, and she was beaten half a length by Calling All Angels. Now she had the third place runner 5 lengths behind her, who's Hot Pearl, who's the third favorite in this race. So she surely holds Hot Pearl on that effort, and then only danger could be Bomber Girl. So I think Sign of Fate should open the meeting.
Okay. Tell us about this, Mr. Marie. Where are you in terms of the first? Because now we've got Bipods, PAs, these 7 race programs. You've got to make sure now we don't want to, we want to survive
like I always
both.
say, on every preview with regards to the juveniles, I play it cautiously. So I've actually included number 4, Hot Pearl, into my PA and my Bipods, although she's well held by the favourite. But I watched that replay, Clyde. She came out running. She was a bit too keen, and I actually think the drop to 1,000 will be in her favour. More importantly, she was well supported on that occasion. There was a lot of money for her. So I expect her to narrow that deficit, if not turn around the form with the favourite. With regards to the money horse in the race, number 2, Bomber Girl, Clyde, it says in the front of the computer form, nice horse, but will need the experience. So I don't know where the confidence is coming from. Certainly not the trainer.
Well, what did it open? What did it open, this horse?
I don't know, Clyde. I don't know. It takes a pittance to shorten first timers. More importantly, watch the market closer to race time, because honestly, a grand or two could certainly move the market at a big price.
Okay. Yeah, that's also true, I suppose. But you can't get a phone call at 4:45 in the morning to tell you about a horse and say get on at 4:45 in the morning. You know what I mean?
You know what I would have told them?
No, well,
4:45.
I thought I was dreaming. But if it doesn't land...
So is it your money?
If it doesn't land, he's going to get blocked, whoever that caller is. I can tell you that. He won't phone us again at 4:45, that's for sure. All right, but let's put it up. Bipods, PAs, what's the story with regards to the first? Darren Burrows has got a bipod, Banker 6 by Banker 6, by 1, 2, 6, 7 by Banker 8, by 1, 3, 4 and 8 by 3 and 5. So there's Darren Burrows' bipod. So Darren's got how many bankers? 3 bankers, whilst Daryl Marie, let me see how many bankers he's got on the day. Has he got any? Let's have a look. He does tend to have 1 banker later on, and that's his bipod that he's working out for 384. Now that's a bipod, so remember you got your you can scan that code. It's so much easier for you to do it. Place accumulator, Daryl Marie's got PAs there. He's also bankering the 8 later on. That happens to be in race number 4 on the card. And that particular horse, if you don't know, is Money Heist. And that's his place accumulator at 384 Rand. We're on to the next race now. It's time to have a look at the pick 6. The horse priced up 9-10 with World Sports Betting, Jet Legacy. Second choice is this horse first timer from the Puller stable. I don't know anything about it. I'll ask the boys in a minute. Mamori is at 9-2 and 5-1 about number 5. Benny in the area. I'm not sure if there's anything else. I watched this first time out. Just had a quick look at the replay, Jet Legacy, Daryl, and seemed to be travelling and then asked the question. It took too long to go past, never had that instant or immediate response.
He certainly caught the eye on debut, Clyde.
Maybe Green.
The winner had a lot of experience. He was backed off the boards. A well-known presenter who I'm in a WhatsApp group with posted soft ride, and I have to agree with him. So he's got a lot of his scope for improvement. The third place and the fourth place runners have come out and placed since then. He's damn one over 1,000. So he's got a lot of scope for improvement. I just don't think there's a lot of value with regards to his current price. So I backed him up with number one, One Irish Rover. I was very impressed with his comeback start. I think he was 5 months off. Last time around, on the poly track, he didn't look comfortable whatsoever, Clyde.
Yes.
I know that form line in his penultimate start isn't really that strong, but I think he's cherry ripe now. Back up the Scottsville Straights. I think he'll give the favourite some cheek.
Okay. Not sure if there's anything else in the race. Benny in the area. What come to an Adabar came out of there from Benny in the area, Wiley Riley. If you're looking for a form line horse. Mr. Burrows, are we bankering the favourite?
Clyde, I have bankered the favourites. I think that was a fair debut. You know, Super Fast was overdue that day, and this horse was making his debut. Raced green, stayed on all the way to the line, and if no one knows his sire, Divine Jet, he was a top sprinter. I think he had 9 starts for 4 wins, obviously unsound, but he ran third in the Merchants over 1,200 at Kenilworth. And there's a lot of speed in this pedigree, so I don't think the 1,000's going to be a concern. And I did take a little multiple, starting with Jet Legacy or all to come. I went Jet Legacy to win, Money Heist to win, and Makara in race 5 to place.
Okay, so you've started your trebles with this. Mr. Burrows' pick 6 looks like that, where he's bankering Jet Legacy. I'm only worried about Benny in the area. Second leg horses. Third leg is bankering the 8-horse Shell Seeker as well. I think Daryl Marie's on the same horse. Then is
Money Heist.
Money Heist, I beg your pardon. Is it Money Heist, not Shell Seeker? Money Heist is the 8-horse in the third leg. Then Field, then 3 and 5, and Field at the back, and that's a 576 rand. Pick 6 per. Hi guys, let's get on to Devil and Dust. 22 to 10 favourite Darren Burrows to win this. Top of the boards 22 to 10. Laugh's got Lady Serena. Have you heard his message? Which one does he like?
Gives them both chances, Clyde. Now, Devils and Dust, the drop-in trip could be ideal. She shows pace over a mile. She's been racing over a mile for a whole season. And I think the drop back to 1,400 could be the trick. Dangers, Quinabi, I don't think she saw at the mile last time out. Drop-in trips also going to suit. So 1 and 2 have to go in. Then you got Lady Serena, probably the class in the race, but has to carry the 60.5. Keegan DeMello takes the ride. Not a bad effort last time out in strong company. And Shell Seeker, very costly to follow. 52.5 kilos she can get into the action.
Okay. So there are a few. Mr. Murray?
Yeah, there has to be a few, Clyde. Obviously, Lady Serena brings the strongest form into the race. You can see Lord William, he came out and ran third in the, what was it? The King's Cup, I think, behind Cape Eagle and Captain Fontaine. But she's going to have a work cut out from a wide draw. She's track and trip suited, but certainly drops in class. Devils and Dust, a lot in her favour. Last time out, she competed against a very competitive open handicap, back against her own sex. One draw. That combination can do very little wrong, so she should be thereabouts once again. Quinabi, I see getting the run of the race. Didn't stay the mile last time out. If you go back to her turf runs, Clyde, she was very competitive off a 77. Since then, she's dropped because of her runs on the poly track, and I think back on the turf off a 70, I'm going to make her my narrow first pick.
Who else is from Dance My Lord? Is it just Quinabi from this form line? There is,
When?
Now.
Yeah, there's several others in
Shell
this race.
Seeker.
Mystic Angel, now
No.
she's her own worst enemy. If she just behaves and jumps on terms, like I've included her in the jackpot. Jalsamina is well held.
You know what I'm asking is, because there was, what was the runner of that one? Dala.
Yeah, Dilla.
Whatever, that one,
Under SK, yeah.
Yeah, so correct.
That's polytrack form though, Clyde.
It is polyform. Okay, well, let's see. All right, this is jackpot. Let's put it up. Third race on the card. Handicap fillies and mares. We're going 1, 2, 5, 7 by banker 8, by field by 1, 3, 4, and 6. I think everybody's going to be bankering the 8 horse today. Money Heist is all the rage. Here's odds on favourite to win. Money Heist is 5 to 10. Looks like he'll take a power of beating. 7-1 about the second choice, Aurora Storm for Peter Muscat, and you can get 8-1 for the Garth Puller Fire Admiral. Double figures about the others, but Gareth Van Zyle's got money highest. Who Darren's obviously been competing in Group 1 type races. Am I right?
Definitely. He ran in the Cape Classic behind cousin Casey. He ran 6 lengths off Charles Dickens in the Guineas. He ran 6 lengths off in the Grade 1 Classic. The only concern could be all the travelling from Durban to Cape Town to Joburg, back to Durban. But surely on ratings alone, it looks an absolute one-horse race.
Yeah, where did he achieve this rating? I'm just having a look, Daryl. This horse, Money Heist. He beat Venerable. He ran second to Ironwell.
He achieved it in the Cape Classic, if I'm not mistaken.
He ran 4 lengths to Cousin Casey in the Selangor, 6 lengths to Charles Dickens in the Guineas. Then in the Gauteng Guineas, 10 lengths to Eye of the Prophet, 7 lengths to Anfield's Rocket in the Classic. But I'm not. I think he's a lovely horse, but I don't know what. I mean, he's running good company, but he hasn't. With all due respect, he hasn't been close enough with the big horses. He's running their company, but he hasn't got within a half a length or a length of them. He got within a short head of Iron Will.
The more they drift him today, Clyde,
the more you'll back him.
The more you put.
Okay,
so if he goes 7, 8
I'm trying to
10,
figure out where he achieved his rating.
The Cape Classic. You went from a 103 to a 108. Clyde, take note, the blinkers are removed. My only concern is the 1500. If it was 1800, I'd be shocked. I'd still be shocked to see him get beat because he's 11 kgs well in over here. I expect him to win. So let him drift and get your all-to-comes on.
I don't think it was the Cape Classic, eh? It was the Guineas when he ran to Charles Dickens, the 103 to 108.
The Cape Guineas, yes.
The Cape Guineas, not the Classic.
He didn't run in the Cape Classic.
No, the Guineas, yeah.
The Guineas, sorry.
All right, but you say put and collect. That's not
Absolutely,
a race.
yeah.
All right, Mr. Burrows, put and collect. You're saying to me you're just worried about the travelling. That's all you're worried about, right?
That's all.
Okay, let's see how good he is. Is he a 6 to 10, 5 to 10 shot? I guess so, against this sort of company. He has a look at what the guys are saying in terms of what they want to do. They're bankering 8 by a field, by 3 and 5 by a field. I really do hope that he wins, and that he wins well for the Van Zyl stable. On to the next race. Now we're on to race number 5. This horse is top of the boards, 4-1 Bella Succumb, with joints with Meet at the George, one of my favourite horses, only because he's named that way, and 5-1 about the rest of them. They are Free State Star, 6s and better about the rest. Okay, Twitter, we're on Twitter already. We've got our group updated there and also on our WhatsApp group. Hopefully you've already had access to some of that information. Thank you very much for being a part of it. But 4-1 the field, open race. And I'll start with you, Darren. Tell us what you like.
I did go very wide here, but Clyde, I like a bit of Makara. I've always been a big fan of this filly. And in a penultimate start, he was only beaten under 3 lengths by the Colts, Captain Fontaine. And last time out, not disgraced behind Lucky Miss. She did have Meet at the George in front of her, about a quarter of a length. So there's nothing separating numbers 8 and 4. I would include Woodland Retreat. This filly ran second in the Golden Slipper, and she's had the 2 comeback runs in December and March, and her rating is down from a 104 to 100. She should be competitive.
Yeah, nothing exciting or nothing to write home about. Thanks for that information. Yourself?
Yeah, field events.
Field, yeah. Okay, fillies and mares.
Makara's 2 is my slight first pick. Later starts, I don't know if you recall that race, Area 51 was really dictating the pace from up front. She was out at the back. I thought she did extremely well to quicken and finish where she did, because the race certainly wasn't run to suit. But excuse me, Clyde, a mare like Free State Star, she's in cracking form. Look how close she's been finishing up over the 1200. I actually think she's a better 7 furlong filly, so she's going to be track and trip suited. Only Hearts, I'm not too sure if Serena's chosen her. If you can't get down to 52.5, I thought she was certainly the stable elect. Yeah, field event.
Yeah, and Laf's also been in very good form. It's looking for 4 on the trot now. Okay, here's what we're going to do in this race. It's race number 5. We've only got a few more to go now. We're going Makara. This is Darren Burrows, it is. He likes that to run a place. Okay, Carbon Copy 28 to 10 favourite, top of the boards here. And number 3 on the card here out at Hollywood Bet Scottsville. Number 6 Escapologist, second choice at 7 to 2. 5 Gardenia's 9 to 2. And Boogie Shoes is at 9 to 2. 6 isn't better about the others. I'll start with Daryl Marie first. Talk to him. I like Feeling Groovy. It's priced up 8 to 1. There may be a bit of value in that. But I thought you were on this horse last time with Peter Muscat's, eh? Carbon. Did you tip it?
Yeah, she stayed on in the latter stages, so I think she will appreciate the additional 200 meters. She's been backed up fairly soon, 7 days later. So if she just puts in a similar effort, this is a weaker lineup, in my opinion, Clyde. She must be in with a serious shot of here. I like the look of number 1, Feeling Groovy. She's at her best when she leads, Clyde. That wasn't the case on a fast poly 1400 meters last time out. So if she gets to the head of the fairs from a 1 draw, she shouldn't really have to work to get there. I could see her bouncing back to her best. But there's others in with chances over here. Ed VJ, certainly a better turf filly. And then Escapologist, this combination, when they team up, Mark Dixon and Keegan DeMello, they got a very high strike rate. She's better than her later start.
If you like Feeling Groovy, you've got to give a horse like Gardenia a big chance, eh?
Yeah, she's just having her second run after a rest. I'm not really a fan of that. If it was a peak run and she put in 2 consistent runs, I would have said she's possibly the one to be with.
Okay. Scratch 2 and 7, 2 and 8, I beg your pardon. 2 Sea Eagle and 8 Dance My Lord are not running, in case you don't know. Darren Burrows is on the line to give us an idea. You also give that horse Feeling Groovy a bit of a chance at that price, 8 to 1.
Yes, she could get the run of the race, Clyde. But I thought it was very tricky because originally I liked Dance My Lord and Sea Eagle, and they were both taken out, so we had to restructure. Gardenia, I was very impressed with her comeback run. You know, this filly achieved a much higher rating in the past. And if this was a 1400 meters second run back, I would say close to a good thing. But it is a mile, so it's stretching her second run back. I'm not sure what to expect. Cabin Cappy, now her 2 runs at Scottsville were her best 2 efforts. Her 3 runs on Polly were bad, but her win at Scottsville in her maiden and her last start behind Maria Carolina, she's got to come in with a massive say. So I'm going to tip Cabin Cappy to win.
Okay, so you're going with that as the winner. The Daryl Marie Exacta is recommending a few because there's some unknown around Gardenia in terms of well-being. It's second and after the rest. And it looks like 1, 3, 4, 6 is what we're doing in Exactas. And we're boxing those runners. 7th and final race. This is a handicap run over 1,200 metres, and in this event there are 8 of them that are going to the gate because the 8 is not running. Cavalieri's been scratched. From a market perspective this morning, I can tell you that number 1, Winter Waves, topped the boards at 5 to 2. Number 5, Quest for the Best, 3 to 1. And number 4, Trade Wars at 33 to 10. And as close as Give Me a Rainbow, 4 to 1. So market open, I don't know, Darren Field or what?
Yes, Clyde, very difficult. You know, this horse, Lord Wiley, won me a lot of money in the past. He hasn't quite shone in his last couple of starts, but he hasn't been far back. And I think he takes a bit of a drop in class. So don't explore one of the rank outsiders, Lord Wiley. Quest for the Best, the stable are very upbeat about his chances. I spoke to the connections. They say he can just about win again. I mean, his rating 4 runs back, a 53, up to a 74, and he keeps on winning. So maybe he's just a late maturing type and he's found his best form. Trade Wars got to go in. Give Me a Rainbow and Winter Waves.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Quest for the Best. He's got to have a serious chance here based on current form.
They say the Scottsville Straight's a difficult race to win, and he's a bit of a specialist. So how can you ignore a horse that's in cracking form? The weights don't favour him, but then again, he keeps defying the handicapper. Strictly on paper, Winter Waves, I think, is 5 kilograms better off for a length and a quarter beating. But if you have a look at the race, the horses drawn alongside Winter Waves don't have much pace. So I think he's going to have to be out in the open and quicken from there. So I don't think the race is going to be run to suit him, because I do believe he prefers to follow a horse or two through. Trade War catches my eye now that Cavalier's out. You can see he has one of the course and distance. He's slowly coming back to his best. Third run after a rest, off a competitive rating. But you know what, Quest for the best in cracking form ahead of Trade War. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, interesting. It's Robert Carty's riding like a demon at the moment, eh?
Yes, both Carties, Clyde.
Yeah.
Sandile in Eastern Cape,
Yes.
and Roberts in...
Robert's got he's on a mission. I like the Beechwood buoy for him. That's been working out quite well too. So maybe that could be a bit of a Strudie in the pack. Yeah, but that's from the Cotson stable. Let's have a look what we're going to do in the last. You heard what Darren fancies. You've heard what Daryl likes. So you know what? There's a whole lot of horses in here. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 9. It is a hard race, the last race. If you don't want to use that as an exacta, use it as a quartet.